Hi, my name is Melissa Toomey, and I will be your sexy hair educator for today. I would like to take a moment to thank you for being here to further your education with us. And who better to bring you education than Sexy Hair, where our main focus is education. Whether you are taking one of our upstyling classes to learn our 5-point upstyling system, or one of our unique structure and motion classes, our education programs are there to help the stylists realize their full potential and become the best that they can be at what they do. So a little bit about Sexy Hair. Sexy Hair, we are world famous for our big red can of hairspray, which actually turns 20 years old today. Sexy Hair makes quality products for distribution within the professional beauty industry. You can find us in over 60,000 salons worldwide and in over 49 countries. Sexy Hair is constantly staying on the cusp of what is new and what is hot, so we can bring those new trends directly to you. Sexy Hair is a solution-based line. We have many different systems within Sexy Hair. We took all the guesswork out of it. Everything says what it does and does what it says. So if you want volume, you're gonna go to our big sexy line. A healthy sexy line, I call our family line. It's good for any type of hair to keep your hair nourished and healthy. We have our blonde sexy line, which is gonna help keep our blonde manes brighter and more golden. We have our smooth sexy line for coarser hair that tends to frizz, or for any client who's had any kind of professional chemical straightening service done to their hair. We have our vibrant sexy line. And our vibrant sexy line helps to maintain the vibrancy of your color for up to 10 weeks. I like to use it on my vibrant clients, my redheads, my blondes, anybody that really wants that added protection to help maintain their color between services. We have our strong sexy line, which is one of our newer lines and one of my favorites. When used in conjunction together of the shampoo, the conditioner, and the leave-in, your hair is 80% stronger and softer than the time before you used it. I like to use that on my blondes that always want to be blonder and my vibrant colors that constantly want to change the color of their hair. We have long sexy, which is made for anybody with long hair or extensions. We have our reformulated curly sexy line to help define and bounce your curls. We have our hot sexy line, which is our newest. The hot sexy line, we have a blow dry and hot tool, aerosol and pump. And everything in this line helps to protect your hair up to 450 degrees from the hot tool damage. And then we have, last but not least, our Style Sexy line. Style Sexy has a bunch of products that is gonna help you to achieve whatever look you want. This is your finishing line. Okay? So getting back to our main focus today, is our unique cutting system, Structure and Motion. Structure and Motion is our unique system that utilizes all 5 basic cutting movements in one fluid motion, based loosely on Tai Chi movements to keep your body healthy behind the chair so you can work longer. Okay? So real quick, we're gonna go over those 5 basic movements of hair cutting that we address in Structure and Motion. Okay, so number 1, we have finger angle. So your finger angle while you're cutting is gonna help determine the kind of weight in the haircut. Finger angle is how the hair is removed in the section while cutting. So if you have a 90-degree finger angle, when you remove that hair, it's gonna give you collapsing layers. That's gonna remove the most weight in a haircut. If your finger angle is away from the head, you're gonna get graduation when you're cutting. If your finger angle is towards the head, you are going to get layers. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, we have our in and out movements. In and out simply means where your starting point is when you're cutting and where the exit is when you're cutting. Okay, next we have lateral direction. So in lateral direction, you take the hair from where it is lying on the head, and you either direct the hair to the left or to the right. Now when you're laterally directing hair, you are actually maintaining length in the opposite direction. Okay? Next, we have elevation. So elevation is simply how you elevate the hair between 0 degrees and 180 degrees while you're cutting. So if you elevate the hair from 0 to 90, you're going to get graduation. And if you elevate it between 90 and 180, you're going to get layers. Next we have our fifth and final movement is over direction. Now in over direction, what happens is you are taking that hair beyond that 180 degrees. Now in over direction, depending on how far in over direction you are going, you're maintaining length and density on this opposite side. And how far you're in over direction is going to determine to the extent of the length and the roundness. So over direction is going to maintain length and density here, and it's also going to help give you a rounded effect when you're layering. Okay? Now, when we are using structure and motion, we do a technique called incising. When we are incising, we keep our thumb and our ring finger barely in the shear grips. This allows us for a full range of motion when we are cutting with minimal strain to your wrist. So you're already paying attention to protecting your wrist. When you're incising, we don't close our shears all the way. So as we're moving, as we're cutting, we are making small movements if you want a little bit of texture. And then you can make bigger movements if you want a lot of texture. So you're texturizing the entire time as you're cutting. And you can adapt that little texture or bigger movement of closing the shears to help you dictate. Like you're gonna adapt that to their hair density and the desired result. Also, make sure when you're incising, we never fully close the shears all the way. It's a constant small motion or a little bit larger for a more textured effect. Okay, also in structure and motion, we're cutting between, it might seem strange at first, but we are cutting between your fingers and the head shape. Now, cutting between the fingers and the head shape allows us to keep the tension on the hair and helps ensure precision in the haircut. You're moving the hair to the client's head shape. This allows us to give a custom cut to each individual client. Also, So as you're incising, to ensure that you have control, you are going to anchor the shears to your fingers. So as you're moving through the head shape, this is your control factor. Okay? All right, so there are two basic cutting movements in structure and motion. The first being cutting up and over. When you're cutting up and over, you are giving the design roundness. So to start out, you're going to keep your feet about shoulder width apart. If you're cutting up, if you're a right-handed cutter, you are going to take your right leg and step forward. Now when you step forward, you're bending at the knees. So this is what it would look like from the side. I start shoulder width apart. I'm going to cut up. So I am going to take a step forward with my right leg. I'm going to slightly pivot my body This is enabling us to keep our work right in front of us. We're not gonna have crazy elbows flying or awkward angles as we're cutting. We are going to take that section. For your right-handed cutters, right leg forward. Know that if you're a left-handed cutter, it would be the opposite. Your left foot would be forward. So right foot forward, your control hand, which is your hand that is going to be holding the hair, your control hand, your fingers are down. You are going to come in between the head shape and your fingers. Your shears are going to be up. You're now ready to cut up and around. So as I'm cutting and incising, I am cutting a rounded layer that is custom to her head. The other basic movement that we have is cutting down and out. Now when you're cutting down and out, this is going to remove the most density. This is giving you more of a collapsing layer. So just like we started before, for a right-hand cutter, you are going to put your left leg forward, okay? For a left-handed cutter, you're going to do the opposite. You're going to put your right leg forward. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to start with my feet shoulder width apart. I am going to step forward with my left foot. I'm going to bend at the knees, bringing my work right in front of me. I am going to have my control fingers up. I'm going to come around. My shears are going to be down, and I am going to incise and remove the hair. Okay? So I would like you guys to stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break, and I will see you for live auditions where we will be doing the actual haircut. All right? Thank you very much.